A very good evening to all of you. My name is Rupam, and I'm here to talk about a very interesting topic today. And Rajneesh will join me in some time, but before that, let me give you a glimpse of what AI is actually doing, be it any field. Now, before we start, I just wanted to ask all of you, what's the population of the world today? Any idea? 8 billion? Yeah? Okay. Let me tell you, it's not 8 billion. 8 billion that we know. Whom you are counting? You are counting humans, right? But there are around 1.5 billion AI agents which you are not counting. So almost there are around 10 billion, I won't say humans, but people who are living. Agents are also working for us. They are also managers. They are also HR people. They also eat, drink. But what they eat or drink? Any idea? Data, exactly. And where do they stay? Cloud, okay. They stay on cloud. They reside in data centers. So let me give you a very different kind of perspective to artificial intelligence. And this time we are talking about retail real estate. So today I'm going to talk about retail real estate and how AI is actually working to change that landscape. We know that whenever we talk about customers, whenever we talk about people, we can actually segment them into 4 different sectors. Either we can see it in the form of geography, or we can actually check what we talk about, the demographical segmentation. So there are 4 different segmentation, and we thought that out of these 4 different segmentations, we could actually work on 2 different segmentations, and one of them is demographic, and the second one is geographic. So these are the 2 sectors we thought we will actually work. And before we take a look at how real estate will work, first of all, let's understand when we talk about segmentation, the first is geospatial location intelligence. Since morning, people have been talking about that whenever you are talking about a store or a mall or a retail store or a high street, everybody unanimously talked about location, 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 isn't it? Everybody talked about location. And everybody talked about data. So data and location, if it comes together, it is actually an amazing combination. So when we talk about AI, we need to understand that, okay, AI is not just a magic wand. It requires data. There is a data layer which is actually running beneath it. Now, we thought of that, okay, if I have to build up a system, if I have to use AI to work with real estate data, what I need? I need footfall data. I need geographical data. I need human mobility. I need traffic data. I need satellite data. By the way, let me tell you, with the help of ISRO and NASA, we are launching a satellite called NISAR. And NISAR will have a resolution of 2 meter by 2 meter, which means that you step out of your home, it will know which bag and which item you are carrying. That's the power of satellite data that is coming up next from July 30th. Anyways, we are talking about population, demographics, and all these things. So what I'm going to show you will actually change the way how you look at malls, how you look at real estate, how you look at retail real estate, and how you look at retail stores. Look at this. In front of you, I'm opening up something very interesting. We are calling it as Mall 2.0. And it cannot happen without artificial intelligence, without data analytics, without the concept of data modeling, visualization, and all these things. It gives me immense pleasure that on this platform, I am talking to you and we present to you the mall analytics. AI-powered mall analytics by Waysahead. Now, definitely, this is live. You can just open and then explore, but definitely it requires license key, so you have to contact us. But today from this stage, I'm going to give you a sneak preview, a food for thought, before we start the gala event. So, here we are. As we explore, as we log in, this is the first screen that you see. So, we'll have a candid discussion with Rajneesh once he comes up over here. So these are the 6 things that we are going to discuss today. And what is the implication of AI and data on these 6 things? So for the first time in retail real estate, we are bringing AI agents. It gives me immense pleasure that we are releasing 15 AI agents which can change the world of retail real estate for the time to come. So here we are. Using this platform, you can actually look into a location, you can see the catchment, you can see the stores, and you can actually see the presence of different categories within a city, within a state, within a country. So, as of now, what we have done is we have taken the city of Nizams, Hyderabad, as our use case. India has more than 500 cities, so the possibilities are immense. Trust me, 65% of grade A malls are just in top 7 cities. And I'm talking about around 16 million square feet of leasing activity that is happening. This is one of those 6 pillars. The next pillar. We all know about generative AI. We are talking about chat GPTs. Everybody says LLM, large language models. But we have done something with a twist. We are not talking about LLM. We are talking about SLM, which is small language model, which is trained on your data only. So it will be on your data. What we will do is, we will take the model from the cloud and then we will train it on your data, so the data is private. So we have done that with 5 trillion tokens, and the model size is 13 billion. Now, once you start asking questions to data, this is the kind of answers it gives. Look at this. We just asked, there's a fictitious mall in Hyderabad. Give me the strategy for leasing. And this is what it is giving. And this is from the data it has crunched. And when I say data, I'm talking about leasing activity data. I'm talking about demographical data. And this buddy is in action. There are many other things. I mean, this session would go for another 2 hours. I don't want that. So let me cut it short and show you something very interesting. It's not about only small language model, but what we did was, we took the data and we presented a real-time dashboard. The single real-time dashboard gives you a complete understanding about trade density, be it category-wise, be it floor-wise data, be it your price index-wise data. So all these things we could do, be it your brand-wise data. So everything we can do from this. Then we thought that, okay, why only talk about real-time dashboards? Why can't I go one step forward? And can I check something on the city side? So we got all the data, which is a leasing data from a city, and see what happens. This is Hyderabad. The way the way you see Hyderabad and the way we see Hyderabad is different. So we have got more than 3,500 retail different segments. So I can now, sitting here, I can see how is my high street looking in Hyderabad and how is my mall locations looking in Hyderabad. I know the square feet area, and I can tell you from here what is the significance of Amirpet and what is the significance of Jubilee Hills in Hyderabad, sitting from here. That's the power of data and analytics I'm talking about. If this is not enough, let me give you another view. Here we are looking at the same data with lease and brands all together. So I can see all the malls and real estate establishments on the right-hand side, and I can see all the brands on the left-hand side. And I can actually check which mall is performing in what manner. Everything. I can check brand-wise, who is paying more, who is paying less. I can check mall-wise, which brand is doing good, which brand is not doing good. So this is just a glimpse of what data and artificial intelligence can do. Now, if you say no, you said AI agents, and I talked about 15 AI agents, look at this. These are the 15 agents that are working in the background, starting from finding the next best retailer. It also, we have developed retailer communication agent, which means the entire communication channel from mall to tenant, everything is automated. Everything is done by agents now. So it's like a dossier, it's like a report. Every week, every month, the retailer gets a report from the mall directly. So this is how the agents work. It actually can look at the threshold and then trigger mails directly. It can say that in your floor, by the way, the category is doing good, but you are not doing good. So maybe you have to look at positioning. Either we will shift you to some place, or you have to put it into some other strategies. So, Rajneesh, I think I've showed certain things, and without your help, without your guidance, it was not possible. So please, welcome you. Mike is here.
Thank you for saving me. I started getting grilled there. Yes.
Yeah, so what you saw and what is your thought on this artificial intelligence, and let's see.
I think the need is that today, what decision making we have in our business is largely dependent upon lag indicators. So we observe trends emerging, and then we make decisions, which is we are making decisions on the past data. But if we can identify the lead indicators, and we can understand the changes in demographic, we understand the changes in what's happening in the city on multiple dimensions. Like, for example, a city like Lucknow or Surat or Hyderabad has gone through so much of transition in last 7-8 years that it has blown our minds in terms of the quantum of consumption, in terms of the quantity of retail stores or real estate. And we are all responding to what we are experiencing. If there is a manner in which the upcoming trends can be understood, which needs very large data to be analyzed, and that would help in making decisions which are more for future and less based on the past. And I think AI can do a lot of job there.
Yes, absolutely. Great. So, I mean, what are the other thoughts in terms of the use cases primarily? What do you think where it can help?
See, use cases will keep emerging as the data, I believe, get more established. Use cases can be positioning of a mall. How do we see the city growing? How do we see competition coming in? How do we see residential sales, car sales, credit card usage? A lot of data can tell us where the city is heading. We can understand and we can start planning for those future. So use cases could be in, so today AI is used in multiple dimensions. What we have trying to develop here is more on a leasing model, but we are already using AI layering on camera feeds to understand the demographics of the footfall that are coming into our mall. We get to know much real picture as we moved from thermal cameras to footfall to the cameras to footfall. Our footfalls came down by 20%, and but we are happy because we know the real data. We know much more about the age demographic. We know much more about the gender demographic, and we can understand a lot of movement, heat maps, which are real. We can identify a lot of things through AI feed on camera. So in operations, we are trying to expand that and seeing how it can bring more efficiency, how can it help us in reducing cost. Those initiatives are going on. On leasing side, I think the decision making is very, very movement based. One is having a space coming up for to be rented out, and suddenly you meet some retailer, and then suddenly it starts making sense. It's very impulsive. It's very much thinking on your toes as you interact with people. You make a decision, but we are missing out on a larger universe to think about our decision. Is this the best decision? We miss out on certain brands which could be a great option. We do not go out and test. So when you have something available on the screen to evaluate, it allows you to rethink your decision. It allows you to plan your decisions better. And I think those are the things where it will really help. And also sometimes when it is layered with external data, it can help you to put a direction in which you want to grow your property. And those things will start coming up.
And I think data is available today, I mean, in all formats. Internal data is anyway there, but external data sets are also available today, right? If you talk about leasing data, if you talk about geographical data, Google has opened everything to the world. So I think when we augment the internal data with the external data, that is like something remarkable. What's your thought?
See, data is available. Now, the problem with data is that so much of data is available, you don't know what to do with it, right? It has become so much data, it is beyond human to analyze it now. But if you have a good algorithm to it, where you put some thinking process behind it, that if these are the kind of indicators, what kind of decisions should be made, then it helps the leasing team, the management team, to start thinking and start getting supported in decision making through AI. So algorithms and the intelligence, or what we call organizational learning, it becomes institutionalized. It becomes system oriented. It becomes a part of the process. It doesn't change then if there are a couple of team members who are changing. So you develop an organizational learning because those learnings are going into an algorithm and are getting captured. And the future decision making is based on the past learnings. And it is not on-job training of various team members when you expand team or there's a churn in the team. So AI will help in capturing a lot of organizational learning, and it will help in making good decisions in long term, is my view about AI.
Absolutely. So any questions from your side?
I think while we have data, I want to understand how algorithms will be developed. Data on its own has no meaning. How to read that data, how to interpret that data, and how to use that data. Those algorithms, how are we making systematic approach to that is something that I would like to really understand on this model.
Sure. So, I mean, good question. I mean, when we say artificial intelligence, there are two sides of it. One is the generative AI and all these things that people know about. The other side, which is the core part, is actually based on statistics. And there what we do is, the entire statistics, the entire data science resides on three pillars. So the first pillar is to find out trends. Is there any trend in the data? The second pillar is to find correlation. So, and the third pillar is actually anomaly. So I'll give you examples of all these three. So when I say trend means, okay, there is a brand which is doing good, right? And I see an upcoming trend, or let's say I see overall last 3 years, 5 years trend. So that's a trend, I mean, going on, let's say month on month, week on week. Now what happens is, if a footwear brand does good, we have seen that an accessories brand also does good in the same floor. This is called correlation. For example, in a grade A mall like yours, we have seen the correlation as far as 84%. So with some of the brands. So there is a tight correlation between two brands. This is the second point. And the third is anomaly. Anomaly is, let's say, the brand was doing good for last 2 years, 3 years. Suddenly the last quarter dipped. Or the reverse, the last quarter spiked. So usually what happened, if it is spiked, people say, wow, great. When it goes dip, then actually gets worried. Ideally speaking, from data science perspective, we should see both the ends. If it is spike also, if it is down also. So I think these are the three pillars. If we look at the data with these three lenses, then we should be able to build any algorithm of the world.
So Rupam, how the data will come? What will be the authenticity of data? Is it going to be localized to one client that you have, or is multiple clients coming to you will benefit from a collective data which is kept private but available for machine to start analyzing better?
So actually, we at Waysahead Global, we had a vision. I mean, what Schlumberger did to the oil and gas industry, we wanted to do the same for the retail industry. So we are saying that, okay, in the morning also I heard somebody talking about a protocol. We should be sharing data, but with a protocol. So now what happens if multiple mall developers, tenants start sharing data, not everything. I'm talking about a very skim level data. And then we make a model that will be massive, that will be very powerful. I'm not talking about the nitty-gritties of the data.
But why will somebody share data?
So that's what, I mean, why would somebody share it? Because it's like kind of, we can say, it will benefit them also. I'll give you a simple example, how Schlumberger did it in oil and gas. So in oil and gas, we know that if we are putting a drill, let's say, so based on the viscosity and the volume, so we can actually tell that for how many years or how many months this oil rig will be functioning. Now this is dependent on the data scientists which are working on that oil rig, right? But it has been found that when you share this data, very simple data, viscosity and volume, and what they did was, Schlumberger, they made a network, we call it as open data network, and then they pushed only this much data to the external world. Now there are scientists sitting in IBM, scientists sitting in MIT, just took that data and said that no, your data scientists are wrong, your oil rig will work for more 3 years. Now that changes the game completely for the oil rig. The same kind of protocol and same kind of data, if shared. So when I say data shared, so we have to understand that today every data is available. So we think that we are making data private, but ultimately all data is available. So it's better that we decide what to use for churning the models and it for betterment for all the people actually for it.
And how do you see adoption coming in? As in, is it going to scare people off that they will lose their jobs? Or is it going to be making their lives easier and their work more effective?
So AI is going to be our buddy, the way we have shown. So I see that the IT of the future will be the HR. So you will be working with AI. So there will be humans, which is the IT team, will actually nurture those AI agents. They will recruit, they will train, and the AI agents will actually work, and the IT team will actually play as an HR team for the entire robotic arm that we have. So the culture has to shift. The team has to understand that with AI, how there will be a complete shift a data-driven or AI-driven culture within the organization, and that will benefit each and everybody. So that's the thought process that we need to bring to the organization. That's it.
Great. Anything you want to talk further, or should we let people enjoy the drinks?
Yeah, absolutely. That
Great.
would be
All
great.
the best. I hope this product comes out nice.